Hey guys, welcome to Brandon's Redstone Basics, a series where I try and show you how to do redstone, basically. So first, here are the power components, also known as the input methods. These are what you use to power things. First up is a redstone torch. Redstone torches naturally power everything around it, or a block above it. As you can see, if it's on a block that is powered, then it unpowers and inverts the signal, as seen here. A tripwire hook is a hook that hooks onto string. When you walk on the string, it powers. A target block gives an output when it is hit by a projectile, for example arrows. Detector rails give an output when there is a minecart on top of it. Just like that. Daylight sensors give an output depending on what the skylight is. For example, it is high noon right now, so it should be giving an output of 15. But if we go over to the shack that I built and press F3, you could see it gives a power of 0. An observer gives a 1 tick output depending on any block updates on its face. For example, when I flick this trapdoor, the piston should fire. These two pressure plates, the iron and the gold ones, I'll get onto in a later video. But as for these two, the stone pressure plate gives an output when a player or a mob steps on it. The wood pressure plate does too, or when you throw an item on it. Wood buttons, stone button, and levers are pretty similar, but also different. Levers, they give an output until you turn it off. Stone buttons only give you an output for this many ticks. And wood buttons give you an output for a little bit longer, and they also give an output if there's an arrow sticking in them. Redstone blocks are pretty self-explanatory. It's just a block that gives a redstone output. Onto the transmission components. There's redstone dust, redstone repeaters, and redstone comparators. Redstone dust has 15 different output signals that it could have. As you can see, the redstone slowly gets dimmer and dimmer until it hits 0. If you want to extend the signal, a good solution would be a redstone repeater. The redstone repeater has 4 different options depending on the speed. This one gives 1 redstone tick, this one has 2 redstone ticks, then 3 redstone ticks, then 4 redstone ticks. Which basically in a nutshell means the one with less is faster and the one with more is slower, as seen here. You could also make it longer by having repeaters back to back, as seen here. Comparators are pretty neat because they have the ability to take an output from any block that could have multiple values. For example, a composter. As we can see, it has a level of 1, but it doesn't quite reach that until it hits 2. And then when I empty it, it goes back to 0 and the redstone lamp no longer is powered. There's also 2 modes, compare mode and subtract mode. I'll basically get onto this in a later video, but it has something to do with like subtracting, comparing the output, the inputs from the side to the inputs here. I don't know. Up next is all the mechanism components. First off is the dispenser. When it has regular items inside of it, it'll just launch them normally. But not all items are created equal. Like water buckets, for example. When you put a water bucket in a dispenser, instead of it throwing out the water bucket, it'll make the water go in. Like it'll actually place the water bucket in front of the dispenser. Note blocks are pretty cool because they can make music. I'm not that musical of a person, but this is my attempt. Now on to pistons. Pistons have a lot of things going on, as you can see here. But first, let's just get on to normal pistons. They push things forward, but they don't pull things back. Contrast that with the sticky piston. It'll push then pull. Sticky pistons can also work with slime blocks and honey blocks, and they'll stick together. but they don't stick to each other, which is actually a really neat feature that has a lot of applications. If you are really fast with a sticky piston, you can make it spit out its block by having a 1-tick pulse. While sticky pistons stick to most blocks, they don't stick to glazed terracotta. You cannot push certain blocks though, like obsidian for example. A piston could push 12 blocks at a time, as seen here. Any more and it won't work. Alright, TNT is pretty cool. When you power it... Ouch. Redstone lamps, they give off light when it's powered. Fence gates, wood trapdoors, and wooden doors can all be opened and closed by hand, but they could also be opened and closed with redstone. Iron trapdoors and doors are the same, except you cannot open or close them. Droppers are pretty similar to dispensers, but a major difference is that they don't have any special properties for certain items. For example, if I shoot out a water bucket, it shoots out a water bucket. They also interact with containers. If I shoot this dropper at this chest a bunch of times, it'll give me some concrete. It can also give random items, which I think is pretty cool. Hoppers are pretty similar because they take from the container above it and automatically put it into the container that it's pointing towards. This one is pointing to this chest, so if I put some polished diorite in here, it'll slowly go into this large chest. Something interesting to note is that hoppers that are facing one way but also have a hopper below it will actually go down and then to the direction. So if I put some polished diorite here, they don't go in here, they actually go in here. Bells were added in 1.14, but they weren't redstone components until 1.15, when you got the ability to do this. This might be a weird one, but dragon heads like to open and close their mouths when they're powered. Activator rails are pretty similar to regular rails on the surface, but they actually power the minecart itself. You probably all know what powered rails do. They have a lot of friction when you're pushing them around, normally, but if you power it, it goes fast. Normal rails can also do something with redstone. If you power a 3-way intersection, it'll change direction. Hopper minecarts are pretty cool. As you see, it's right underneath this orange concrete, but there's no way that it'll go in there, right? Wrong. As you can see, it's disappearing. That's because it's going in here. Alright, so I'm all prepared. Got blast protection 4, and a totem of undying. This time, what is this? What? Oh, I'm dead. Then there's also the structure block, the minecart with command block, and the command block. I'm not too familiar with these. I do know that the command blocks like to do commands and stuff. Well, guys, thanks for watching. I am gonna die now. If you guys want to see more, I plan to release more. I plan to release more detailed videos about all these things. So yeah. Bye. Oh, I thought I was gonna die. Guess not. Oh my god, look at this crater. Jesus Christ, that is huge. Absolutely massive. Oh my god. Those are some of the caves that I lit up. Good thing I made a backup.